So we made the attempt to repair the wipers before by just trying to replace the nylon pieces, these pieces here, and it didn't work, it failed. So we ended up ordering the whole transmission. We're going to just replace the whole transmission piece here, and that's what we're going to do today to get it on the road. So you can see how it's designed. So it's best just to get this. A little over $100, about $140 we got it. So do it once and we don't have to worry about it again. Got the cowling off, and we're going to remove this piece. Basically we just have a bolt here, one here, I don't know if you can see it, one right there, and another bolt over here. So we'll get those three off of there and it should come out. Alright, so we want to get this nut off of the motor, and then these two screws out of here. But as you can see, this thing pivots around, so we're not going to have any leverage. It's just going to pivot around. So I'm going to put a screwdriver here and hold it so I can crank on this nut to get this off. Yeah, maybe just stick it up underneath here and hold it like that. There, I think that did it. Yeah, there we go. So, all right, so we just want the nut. And there we go. Take this off. Oh, here you go. Get the nuts. Okay. Here, take this out. Oh, that's press fit on there too. Yeah, it's got a. There we go. See, it's got a spline, and it presses down on there. It's the spline, so it presses. You can see that it's kind of angled to where it tightens as it screws down. So anyway, we got that off. There we go. Yeah, because this, whatever these stars, I call them. So that's a 12, that was a 12 millimeter bolt. And then these are, what am I using here? What size? And that's a T30 size. Alright. Same direction. There we go. So there's how we got that one out. Okay, let's see this one. So it'll go in there like that. And then these will just line up. Got it? It's always nice to have an extra set of hands. You want to do that one or? Alright, and we'll just get this one, get that square down there. You got that, I want to make sure that it's square or straight, so it'll press down on there. There you go. What was it? 12. probably be a good idea to get that screwdriver somewhere. Yeah, but we want to make sure that we're not, yeah, maybe something like that, just so we can crank down on, there we go. We don't want to put pressure on these. There we go. Okay, that's good. Yeah, so we basically just flipped it over and get it on the cradle. There we go. One of these. It's like those clip, like those clip things they clip on, and then they have the, you know, threaded area underneath. It wasn't lined up. The clip just kind of moved around. That's all. I want to make sure that you don't want to tighten anything down till you at least get them all started. So basically we're just tightening everything down now. Alright, you want to get that one over there? In. Silver. Everything looks good. We'll put the wipers back on.
Should we at least test the mechanism before, like, I mean, I could turn it on and see how it starts.
Yeah, you could. I was going to put the wipers on there to see, but well, you know what? I'm just wondering. It comes to rest, you know, when you start it up and it comes to rest to stop. That's the part that we need to figure out, because you don't want the wipers to stop up on the windshield. So if you start it, we could test it and then, you know, shut it off, and it should come at rest by itself.
Yeah, just tell me when.
Well, just turn it off at any point. Oh yeah, it works great. Yeah, you got it shut off. Okay, and then we'll put the wipers on. We'll test them. Yeah, it seems to have reset. So we'll get the blades on there. That looks about right. We'll tighten that down. And we'll go from there. Oh yeah, wow, awesome. Yeah. All right, so yeah, we're just getting the cowling back on before we put the wipers back on here. So it goes on there. So we'll get those on and should be good to go. Yeah, so we just used the mini pry bars to get the weather stripping back overlapping the cowling here. So we'll get those plastic grommets or whatever those are called. Get those punched back in there. Get the wipers on. How these work. I'll take my gloves off here. Yeah, how these work. You pull this centerpiece completely up, like so, and then they're pushed down in, and when this is pushed back down, it spreads it, and that's what holds it. So, just like that, and push it down. It's that simple. Okay, so we're putting the wiper down, making sure that the wiper isn't down too far. That's about the right position for it. There we go. All right, we'll tighten them down. test it out. Hold on, I just want to... Alright, we got them working. Excellent. Okay, very good. There's one other thing that I think is worth noting here. We didn't have it in the video, but we ran into a problem. When we removed this differential from the wiper motor, all of this was apart, so there was no point of reference in relationship to the shaft on the motor to how this was positioned. And we ran into a problem. The wiper motor rotates continuously, but when the wiper motor is shut off by the key, it's programmed to stop at a certain point. It is possible that if you have to replace the differential, if you don't make a note of the position of this when you're putting it on the shaft, you could have it reversed. And that's what happened to us. When my son was in the car and turned it on, I was watching these here on the wipers, and they would stop, and I thought, okay, that's down, when actually that was up because I had this reverse. So when we installed the wipers and we were cycling it and they shut off, they'd stop in the upright position, not down. And I couldn't figure it out for the life of me, because it was going to the left and it would stop, but when it was going through the cycle, it's hard to explain, but it would stop in the up position. So basically, this, as you can see, it was just completely apart. And this is where the other grommets, they went in. It was something like this and like that. Okay. So what I ended up doing was I simply, when this is screwed onto the motor, I turned the shaft 180 degrees and went this way with it. So basically I just went 180 degrees. I kind of reasoned that if it was doing that, that's what started making me think that it was just a reverse. I flipped this around 180 degrees and screwed it down, and it resolved the issue right off the bat, because then when he shut the wiper off, I watched it would rotate and stop to the left. I put the wipers in the down position. I tested it with one wiper and screwed it down, and then when he started up, it would go back and forth, and when he shut it off, it stopped as it should have. So I just wanted you to be aware of that if you run into this situation, consider that. Just take it and you'll see what I mean when you get into it. You can pivot it around and go the other direction 180 degrees, just exactly 180 degrees, and that should resolve the problem if you're having a similar problem that we ran into. Other than that, it was a pretty simple installation, and if you run into this, I hope that the video does help you, and good luck with it. Thank you.